Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes. We're back on our Season 3 playthrough, going to be doing our final episode, which is going to be a tour of the entire map and everything we built. So should be fun. So yeah, there's going to be no factory building or anything like that. We're completely done with the series uh, as well. And we've gotten everything. We've gotten our golden fix-it factory cart and our golden coffee mug as well. We finished phase 4 on update 8, which is really nice. So yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. Like I said, we're going to be doing a bit of a tour around the map, showing off some of the stuff that we had accomplished throughout the season and what a season it has been. And just as a brief little look, this is what we had accomplished last episode. Last episode was kind of the final one of any kind of like true gameplay style, I guess. We built this Skyrim-inspired house, um, which is the Hearthfire home. We got we got the sides on there. We've got the main hall and stuff like that. It's not complete yet, but unfortunately, I think we're kind of out of time for that, so we're just going to leave it as it is. Oh, and if you're wondering where we are on um, Paradise Island, as you can see here. So yeah, I guess we'll start the city tour now. Um, One quick apology before we get kind of started here. Um, as we look at our power plant, one of our power plants here, which isn't actually a power plant, but yeah, is the apology of me not getting this episode out in time. It's been quite busy. I was with uh, a 24-hour stream. I was there for most of it, hanging out with a good friend of mine and whatnot. He was doing a 24-hour stream, which was really really cool. You'll find him on the front main page of my channel, Wolfman Mozzie. You'll find him there too, along with some other awesome friends of mine. We've got Drunken Dragon Gaming on there, and we've got Stu from Stu's Gaming Obsessions as well. So, should you wish to check them out, they're all streamers, so you can check them out from the main panel the main channel, uh, the main page there. You check them out on their link as well. But yeah, apologies I couldn't get this out sooner. It's been a it's, it's been a that was not planned. Um, it's been a crazy season the last couple weeks, and yeah, and since it is New Year's Eve, we've been doing a lot for the holidays and stuff like that. So it's been incredibly hard to get recordings out there, but hopefully we can get them all out there in time at least. So I guess let's go ahead and get this thing started, shall we? So starting out of the main city or main city tour, the main tour. This is the house that we had built on the kind of final episode where we actually did any kind of gameplay for Satisfactory. We got the hub here. We've got the MAM, a couple of those. We've also got some equipment workshops and stuff like that. I'm not gonna show you the inside because it's not really complete yet. You can watch us build it in episode 314, which is just before this one. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what we had built last time. So now that that is shown off, let's go ahead and head on over to the city, and we'll start kind of as the season rolled on, kind of type of deal. Now I'm not going to show you footage; you can go back and watch that, but we're going to show you kind of stuff we built. Now, as we get closer to the city, the FPS is going to tank because when it comes to Satisfactory, the one thing you want to avoid is what we've done here over the last year. By the way, in case you're wanting to know, the number of hours on this save is over 1,000. It's almost 1,100, I believe. It's something like that anyway. Actually, I can show it. One quick second. How do I do that again? Oh, right. Forgot. Okay, so one quick second. There's the escape key. So not 1,100, it's 1,051 as you can see there in the bottom left. Play duration 1051. And yep, this has just been our game for the last year, and what a awesome game it has been. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start by flying down the constructor's main street, I guess you could say. So we started out with kind of this area over here by the main, or by the center of the city, which is where our main storage. Don't worry about some of the belts being empty. That is a glitch of the graphics um, the graphics for update 8. Some of them are kind of broken. As you can see, the belts are very much empty in certain areas, which is okay, just because they don't load and stuff like that. So if you actually go down here um, and say you're to hit E on any of these lines, it'd probably update it. It's just the way it is. So yeah, this was the start of our city right here, right in this area. There's still a hole here where the hub used to be. The hub, until episode 314, had actually been down here. This is where we had started. We put the hub down and never moved it for over 1,000 hours until the last or till the last episode for this one. Episode, like I said, episode 314. We finally got that moved along with the MAM, the equipment workshop, the store, all that stuff. Yeah, eventually I'll fill that hole because that's what that hole is for. But yeah, it started with this. We had built for power generation. I think we had like 20 fuel generators right here, kind of along the sidewalk-ish thing. And then I started building roads. And roads we had built. We started building the kind of the main high street of this, and we had these factories. Not the steel factory; that one didn't come till later. But we had the cable factory, the wire factory, the copper sheet factory, which is what all these are. And by the way, the city is still kind of going from our last episode when we had turned everything in, so that's why some of the factories are moving and going and stuff like that. We got copper sheets over here. Again, apologies for the FPS, because you really want to avoid doing this kind of stuff, because it does get very CPU intensive. We got the screw factory here, which is our tallest building in the city, from the ground up. Maybe the oil tower would be taller, but still, all of these floors of screws. So many screw floors. Oh, see, yeah, the belts are updating now that we've been in the area a while. That's not going as slow as it looks like it's going. It's going much faster. Never did finish a lot of these. Stuff like that. Don't worry about that bush going through the floor there. They had, with update 8, they had updated the grasslands, and a lot of the plants and stuff had come back. So, yeah, we got the screw factory. We got the plate factory over here. Most of these factories have this kind of layout with trees in them. Where it's just a bunch of constructors kind of next to each other, and then everything gets lifted up and merged. The materials come into the ingots and stuff come into the center and get split off. So that's just one main kind of thing of that. And then over here is one of our oldest factories in the entire game. Other than the plate factory and the rod factory, I think. The concrete factory is one of our oldest. It did have to get a redo about mid-series or so, to kind of go along with the Mark V belts and whatnot. But yeah, this is one of the oldest buildings in the entire city. Still don't have a roof. Almost none of these have roofs, which is really, just really fun. And we got the steel factory here. That one was more recent. One of the oldest smelteries got to be probably the copper ingot factory. This one had been expanded at one point, because half of this is where the original factory kind of ended, was just this section. And then we allocated more space to then build another set. And all of these are overclocked, by the way, fully. So they produce a lot of copper ingots. as well. And then over here you've got the iron factory, the iron ingot factory. This is one of our oldest as well. Smelteries, because this one had been here since the very, very start. I actually don't think I've redone this one. I just upgraded it. Actually, no, we might have redone it a little bit. But this one's got like a little more thought put into it. It's got like walkways and stuff. Yeah, it did have to get it a little bit redone for the belts and stuff like that. If we go to this end, you see the belts do kind of go out here. This is just for the had to get kind of revamped just a little bit for the Mark V. So I know I said what I said, but yeah, whatever. Again, sorry about the FPS. So this is our rod factory here. Very, very nice. This one's got, was it 10 or so? Yeah, it's got 10 lines each, and it's really thin, kind of like a rod, I guess. I didn't really design them. I just designed them to be buildings. I didn't design them to look like the other thing. And almost all of these buildings have been, the heights have been set. Not all of them, but some of them have the heights been set for the flying manta right here, so that he doesn't fly through buildings, or if he does, he barely clips them and stuff like that. So the one of the other some of the other oldest buildings include the coal generator factory plant for power. This one's got 20 coal generators. It has been revamped a little bit, and also it has been moved as well to accommodate for the landscape. The and to accommodate for other things as well. The superhighway, for instance, this highway um, used to only be the 2 lanes, and then we had the 2 train tracks. The 2 train tracks, I think, were here ish or around this area, and then the 2 roadways were right here, and then it had to get revamped so that we could have kind of a circular city train line highway that goes all the way around the city and does a complete circuit. So yeah, we had to completely move that, which was that was an insane project in itself. Took me a lot of many hours. But yeah, this is the factory, and you're probably wondering why all these factories are very, very dark. This is because all of this was not built with lighting in mind, because as you may know, Update 8 brought Lumen, which is what we're using right now. Lumen is a Unreal Engine 5. When they did the upgrade to Unreal Engine 5, that allowed Lumen, and then everybody used Lumen, and now all of my factories are dark. Now I don't have to use Lumen; I can turn it off, but I think Lumen looks amazing. But yeah, this is what we kind of did here um, as well. And there's tons of pipes and belts and stuff coming up into each one of these, and these are all still running, by the way. I think. They might be on. We might have put them on or retired them or something like that. They sound like they're running. They're yellow though, so I have no idea. But that was one of our first power generations. Power generations. So, and then we started getting. So once we got power generation, then we started doing assemblers and stuff like that. Now, that's kind of where you need to have a coal power plant, is when you start doing assemblers, because those get more expensive. So then, if we head over here, this was the start of the assembly part of the area. Okay, so basically how the city is laid out, we've got constructors all over here. There is one factory of assemblers mixed in, but that's just because it's aluminum. But everything else is in this area is constructors. So there's constructors there, constructors, just everywhere, constructors. And then this is the smelting district, of course. You've got iron, you've got copper, you've got steel, you've got deuterium, and you've got aluminum there. Um, but yeah, so basically the constructor district is, I kind of wanted to district these off so that they were all in the same area. And then we've got the assemblers over here. So some of these have multiple floors, some of them don't. Some of them have never been touched since they were built, partially built, never finished. I kind of wanted an area where we had belts above ground, which is what I planned for the entire city, but it didn't work out. So this is the only area that has all of the belts going back and forth between lands and stuff like that, or between buildings and stuff like that. And one thing I forgot to do is I completely forgot I was going to do music. So let's do some music. I'm sorry about that. uh, Look, the holidays have been stressful as they always are, right? But yeah, we've got assemblers here. These ones are making reinforced plating, which comes down from the screw factory, and then plates come across here from the main bus line, which is what it was supposed to do. The main bus line was originally designed to bring the materials down the bus line to the central storage. Well, while I was bringing to the central storage, we'd split it off and then head to the different factories. Well, as the city grew, that became more and more challenging, as you can quite see here. Like the belt lines going to the next block here weren't so bad, but as we started to get further and further away, it started to become more and more of a challenge. So there's that. This one, what is this one making? Making modular frames there. I think these are stators. Yeah, those are stators. These are motors, or no, these are. Wait, these are motors. Okay, yeah, duh. Those are motors. Those are stators. Rotors come from all the way down here as well, and stuff like that. So that's basically how that done. This is the rotor building. I can't remember. I think it's like 8 floors or something like that. You can see all the way down the shaft there in the center. But yeah, these are all of the rotors. We needed this many for all of that. And then we come over here to this main building, which has a lot of assemblers in it. This was phase 3. Oh yes, phase 2. This is smart plating right here. As you can see, it's not very big. It even has the old design to it. Yeah, this was smart plating. Smart plating goes towards modular engines, I think, or something like that. I can't remember. That's okay though. So, yeah, then we come over here to this building here, which we've got the automated wiring, the versatile framework, and the encased industrial beams. So we had all that. We had built that entire section as well, which was quite good. And then it was like, okay, now we need to start expanding elsewhere. So then of course we got into oil and stuff like that, which we will look at the main train network later, but we'll do the entire city right now. But yeah, and then with phase 3 out of the way, you start moving into like computers and circuit boards and stuff like that. This is one of my favorite buildings design, which was really, really nice, and it worked out amazingly well. So if you got circuit boards, we do 157.5 per minute. I know it's not impressive numbers, crazy numbers, but I just like this. I do have an elevator shaft in the center. Of course, it's just for looks. The elevator don't work. So an actual elevator. And most of the city was built with the regular pieces. The modded part was just me having fun, basically. And being able to do things that I wouldn't normally be able to do with the game, like being able to move pieces once they're placed and stuff like that. With the micromanage and being able to build more quickly with smart mod or the smart mod and stuff like that too. So yeah, this is circuit boards. This one was well thought out. It's like you can inspect the materials coming in, goes into the machine down below, and then you can inspect the circuit boards coming out. And then you got the glass roof and stuff like that. So plenty of area lighting. You can see the assembler main bus out there as well. Yeah, so you got the constructor main bus, the assembler main bus, the I always forget they're called, the other machine's main bus. Then you've got the manufacturer's main bus. Sorry, my brain's not working. It's a lot to do, a lot to say, a lot to talk about. But yeah, we started expanding the city this way as well. And then, yeah, we'll just go ahead and head back out. Take a little shortcut. But yeah, I truly did like this building. This one was quite interesting to build. Then yeah, it started like, okay, now we need to start sending stuff to the main bus line. So I used this building to kind of transfer the materials through, since it's pretty much empty. They all kind of head up here in various different ways to join the main bus line and stuff like that. So we got that done, and then we started to get into manufacturers, um, manufacturers, and the start to phase 4, which phase 4 lasts way longer than any of the other phases, because um, you need oil and you need manufacturers and stuff like that in order to even attempt to start getting through the tiers. So we've got our our computer factory right here. Um, Wait, sorry, those were phase 2. This is phase 3. That's right. Because of these things here, the adaptive control units and stuff. Don't worry about me, and I'm doing the phases wrong. Yeah, we got our computer factory, which kind of looks like an airplane hangar. I did put a picture earlier on of some of the builds that I was doing in the city, and somebody said it looked like an airport. Well, I kind of took that to heart a little bit. It's like, okay, it looks like an airport. I'm good at designing those buildings. So yeah, coming here, you got 2 different trucks, just kind of as decoration. A truck station um, that doesn't do anything either. But yeah, then you got the manufacturers in here, and you inspect the computers as they come out, and they, kind of merge together, go different places, and it's all colored accordingly. And then you've got the adaptive control units building, which is really nice. So you can head on into there, which has got 3 manufacturers in it. Then you've got the massive walkway um, around each of these, and this big dome-like area. Really nice, and they just kind of merge into the center as one big pillar. That's kind of an interesting build as well. A lot of these are very, very interesting. But yeah, then we started getting oil with that, because you needed plastic and stuff like that. We got oil. So yeah, all the train station is right here for the oil and the fuel. So the oil gets brought in, as you can see right there. Actually, it's perfect timing. See a train going in to this massive It's a 10-car train that brings in our oil here. And before, the oil went to an underground storage, right where that tree's at, coming through the ground. Went to an underground storage, and then it went to our plastic and our rubber factory. I then later decided that that wasn't cool enough, and I was like, I want to build an oil tower, like a water tower, because then I don't need pumps. I don't need pumps because the gravity does the work for you in Satisfactory. They actually have liquid physics in a way that the the game calculates whether the liquids are traveling uphill, downhill, against gravity, with gravity. Against gravity, obviously you need pumps when it's a liquid, and when it's going with gravity down towards the ground, you don't need it, and it actually creates perfect pressure, like 100% pressure and stuff like that. So really, really nice. So it goes down underground and then connects into the base here, and then sends it up to the very, very top. Now we can actually go inside this too, so we'll do that. Go ahead and head on up these stairs and into the main door, which then you head up another set of stairs, and you've got this little central area. This is how all the oil gets in. It's kind of a mess, I know, but it is kind of symmetrical, so we got that. And then you head up this spiral staircase all the way up to the very top, and then you head up to this, and this is how much oil storage is here. I don't know what I ended up. I didn't end up like using these poles in the end, but that's okay. So you've got 3 times 8, I believe, of these tanks all the way around. You've got the main lid at the top. That's all my oil storage. So it comes in through the lid and then comes down and then connects to these and then goes down into the tanks and then ends up going down the center of the tower to then connect outside to all of these pipes. Whoops. Can I get out here? Yeah, okay. To all of these pipes out here. And then, of course, then it goes to my rubber and plastic factory. Now, I did have 2 rubber and 2 plastic factories, but I didn't end up needing that in the end because the amount of rubber I was producing was, I think it was around 10 times more than I needed. So for now, I've created rubber and plastic on both sets of factories, but yeah, we just had that. And then I was like, then I started building over this area. I was like, I want a liquid packaging and unpackaging plant, which I started building. Never got it done though, unfortunately. That project kind of got away from us. But it's cool though, because the trains that come out of this station go here. So you kind of got that. And then of course we needed fuel on top of our oil. We needed fuel, so I'm like, okay, well, how am I gonna? I'm gonna do fuel. Rubber and the rubber and plastic recipes produce heavy oil, and then heavy oil you can turn into fuel along with the crude oil. So we've got this massive, massive storage of heavy oil. Just all of these tanks being produced from our rubber and plastic factories over here. And then, of course, it goes across the train station, across the road, and into these buildings here. These 2 massive, massive fuel generation buildings, or massive fuel factories. So you got oil coming in, and it goes into the back. It then splits off to either side on here, and these are on 2 different circuits, so I can switch them on and off depending on if we need more fuel from heavy oil or more fuel from crude oil, depending on what we have for stock and stuff like that. And there he is flying over. He does clip into him a little bit, but it is the way it is. So yeah, and go inside of here. Don't worry about the massive hole. I never filled that in. Yeah. Got so yeah, like I said, you got heavy oil on the left and crude oil on the right, both producing fuel, and you can switch them on and off via these switches here, which is really nice. So on top of this train station, I was like, well, I'll expand it a little bit and then just put a 10-car fuel train station, and then we'll put a fuel power plant. But first, it goes through all of this storage, so tons of fuel storage. So if something goes wrong, it can go wrong for quite a while before somebody notices, and then it can get fixed. Hopefully before tragedy strikes. And then if we head over here, we follow these tracks up here. This used to go underground into our fuel power plant, but it eventually was revamped to then continue the superhighway, because there was like the highway went up and over, but the trains only went about halfway up, and then they went into the fuel power plant, which we can enter in over here. So yeah, this all used to be just underground completely. Now it's not. And also did the fuel power plant get moved? I don't remember. But yeah, you got the fuel train here dropping off fuel for all of these fuel generators. Tons of them. All of them are fully overclocked as well. And the reason that, like I said, the reason we needed those, and we got the train here. The reason we needed those was because of the manufacturers. The manufacturers needed so much power that I decided to build like a massive fuel power plant. And you got the 2-engined 10-car fuel train that brings fuel in every I don't know, every 20, 30 minutes. That's an in-game time. Probably every 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, real time. Unfortunately, our park got destroyed with Update 8. Because with Update 8, all of the mods broke. Had to turn off the mods to continue the series. And our park that used to be here is now... It's still a park, just not as beautiful as it once was. If we head over here, same with the concrete park we had over here. Because the flying manta ray flies really, really low in this spot, we decided on a little tree park right here with some rocks and stuff. And well, that had to go away as well. So now it's just I don't know, just random. We actually had some benches and like some people and stuff like that too, which was really cool. But it's unfortunate. Same with why this area is low right here. The flying manta ray flies this way in it, and we had to have this overhang put in as well for the flying manta rays for that. Um, and the one place we were getting water to begin with, I'm going to start with over here, um, was this area. There was nothing either side of this road, and it was only a dual lane road um, with the train next to it. And now it's a bigger road. But yeah, then this was our first kind of massive plant that pulls water. Um, oops. So if we actually go inside of here, you've got the big old storage tanks underneath here. And if we go down the ramp case, we can actually take a shortcut. This is all of our water pumps for this area. So, kind of nice and secluded. No big deal there. I know. I'm a great tour guide, right? I'm so awesome to listen to. I'm not boring at all. Then we have the train station, which is down inside of here for picking up the water. 5-car train. As you can see, there's one right there now. And then all of our coal is being brought in via this area. Another big, massive train station. Just for 5 cars. And the train goes down there, down that tunnel, and then around the bend and into there. Yeah, so we're pulling coal from these 2 nodes here, also from these 2 nodes here, and that still wasn't enough coal with Mark III and being overclocked, so then we had to pull from this this coal node up here, the one in the red forest, which actually no longer exists, by the way. This one got moved, but it's still here. It still does work as long as I don't remove that miner. That one no longer exists. Like I said, there's a massive shot of the city from over here. Yep. So that's coal and water for our coal generation plant, or coal burning plant, whatever you want to call it. That one, like I said, if I had it on, I think I have it all off right now. But if I had it on, it would all be working, because it still gets coal and water delivered to it, even though it's not using it. So yeah, let's go ahead and head over here to the manufacturing district, to the manufacturer district as well. Oh, it's like, I know I turned off autosave, so I don't know why it was loading like that. Everything's still working? Yeah, okay, good. So yeah, as we built up this area of the city and stuff like that, we had to do something with this area with this massive arch, which I decided to turn into a racetrack using the road tool mod by Andre Aquila. We used the foundation spawner tool so that we could have this, even if the mod had to be turned off, we would still have our foundations. So that's why we used that. But yeah, it's not another project that never got finished. What are you doing? Huh. I think there's a bug with the tracks there, because that's, yeah, massive racetrack. You got the pits here, and then yeah, you go around this curve, and then you climb up the hill as you turn in here. This is before they moved the arch. As you can see by the foundations, the arch was moved in Update 8. which kind of quelled all hopes and dreams for finishing the racetrack. Because if I wanted to finish the racetrack now, I'd have to move this corner over, which would be dang near impossible to do without messing it up. So I kind of just gave up on the project entirely from there. But yeah, then you did the S bend here, and then you climbed uphill, went around this, just like that, and then back over this spot. Really nice, really awesome. And then this spot right here, there's actually a bunch of those gas rocks right here in this spot. They're gone now because of update 8, but yeah, they used to be right here, so nothing could be put there. So just built around them. Built around them, I guess. Same with the city center. The city center for a long time was just the space elevator and nothing else. I don't think we got the space elevator done until we got into the manufacturing era. But yeah, I was just like, okay, I need to get the city center done because we got so many products that are being brought here but aren't being actually stored anywhere. So I was using all the buildings to gather my materials. And eventually got tired of it, so then I built the city center, which we could store all of our buildings. So yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, this is the design I'd come up with. So everything comes down the main bus lines from all their respective districts, and then heads up into the storage containers. We can actually go inside here too, right in through this door. And again, before update 8, this was built. So yeah, it houses the entire space elevator into this shaft here, which is really nice. And then if you want to, you can go up these staircases here. You can also go around the outer circle down at the bottom floor. You've got all these windows and stuff. And how you get to those is you actually follow this area around here, all the way around. You can also service the space elevator here. It's a little ladder there. Yeah, then you go up this little ramp, and then now you're on the second level. Then you go up the ramp cases here. We should be able to slip by here, even with all the the invisible walls and stuff. But yeah, then you got all these going all the way around. These are single crates stacked on top of each other. They're not the dual crates. These are the singles. Yep. Then you can go ahead and head on up here if we can find a spot to slip by. Maybe. No, we're gonna have to go up the ramp case. That's okay. Then we end up at the second floor. I didn't know how much I was gonna need and how much I planned to store, so I just did that. Oh, and these little pieces right here, they're just for power, so you can fly around the center tower with the hover pack. No big deal there either. Without any troubles. Yeah, very, very nice. And we'll go ahead and head back out the doors here, back into the daylight flashbang. And yeah, and then I did this little tower thing with some walls to kind of match the space elevator, so it looks like it was built into it, which looks really nice, I think. Very, very nice. Okay. So yeah, then we needed steel, so we did this. We did the steel plant, which actually got expanded. This road right here used to actually go straight on through to the other side. Straight on through to the other side. Straight on through. And connect to this road, but then the steel plant had to be expanded at a certain point because we needed more steel beams and steel pipes being produced, which is in this massive building here. We've got steel beams on this end, all of these constructors. And then we got steel pipes on this end, which is there's actually 2 floors to that. So then that we could produce heavy modular frames, which are being produced over here. I think heavy modular frames is where I started going underground with the belts and really going underground with pipes and stuff as well. So that's where I ended up with that. This was actually built by a friend of mine. He had come in for a few episodes. He actually helped me build some of the plastic and rubber plants as well, because there was just so much to do and I was having trouble getting it all done at that point. So he helped out for a little while, and I said, if you want to build your own factory, would you build me a heavy modular frames factory? That's what he did. So he pulled all the materials, he set all these in place and stuff like that. And then another friend of mine came on for a little bit, and I said, "Hey, I need a factory done for the modular engines." This was in phase 2, so he got me the modular engines for that. Put up a factory and stuff. I hooked up the belts, but put it to where his manufacturers were. But he stopped playing as well. And both of them, I think, kind of stopped playing as well because the lag that was ensuing. This is around the time where the lag started getting really bad with the FPS and stuff. And yeah, my friend just couldn't. He couldn't play for sometimes more than a few minutes before his game would just straight up crash. And my other friend, he was having internet issues on top of the lag, and that was causing issues for him. So yeah, he stopped playing as well, which was unfortunate. So yeah, then I had to just solo it from there. So yeah, they got the modular engines, and then we needed, then we got into phase 4, and we started needing more advanced stuff um, like the crystal oscillators, which are there, and then these things, the radio control units, which if you go inside here, it's actually quite compact in here. Yeah, and we've got a little glass walkway so you can see the materials being brought in. Yeah, kind of like stuff like that. And you can inspect the radio control units coming in as well. So then it's just like, okay, I need I need a I think it was, did we do aluminum next? I can't remember all the steps we did. I think we did aluminum next. I think that was the next step, was to get to get Mark V belts and stuff like that. So we've got for the supercomputers and stuff. We've got the high-speed connector factory, which is right here. Brings all the materials in between the buildings, right here, and into these factories. The other challenge, there was a couple of challenges I completely forgot to mention with this game. Was the one being, if we're bringing in materials, it has to be brought in by train, um, like raw materials, and it has to be a 5-car train or more. So that was the one challenge. The other challenge was you couldn't use alternate recipes brought in by scanning hard drives. So we weren't allowed to use that. So we had to use the standard um, the standard stuff for everything. So that's why these are all standard recipes. There is no alternates with all this. This is a supercomputer factory, which I thought we encased them in glass when it's inside of here. All the materials come in on the side here, which I think is really cool. Just another decent design, I think. And then brought in underneath this walkway and into the manufacturer, which you can stand up here and watch as it goes on. A lot of fun there. But yeah, that's where we started needing aluminum. So I started heading out for bauxite, getting a rail network set up for bauxite, and another place to bring in water and stuff like that, so that we could get that stuff done. So yeah, then we turned the one rubber factory, which wasn't being used, into an aluminum scrap factory, which is this orange building right here. I don't have any signs for this one, but yeah, if we head in, it just kind of refitted it as well. So you go in here. This is like I said, this is my aluminum factory. So we've got down here, we've got all the pipes and stuff we've got the water and the bauxite coming in, which then goes into there. And if we head up here, this is where all the water comes in on this side, which creates the alumina solution on the left, which goes into these buffer tanks. So these ones had to be underclocked and overclocked in various ways just to get it all balanced out. So you got the alumina solution that comes in on the left, and then if you actually go below ground, below the factory floor, which is down here, as you can see, everything gets brought in and then it goes underground here. If you actually go below ground, you can see the... can I get past this? I might not be able to get past this. Such a tight space. There we go. So you get the alumina solution, which comes in for the other machines over here, and all of them are regulated, which then go up into those machines there. And then the water from the aluminum scrap gets brought in and gets regulated back into the water system here, which is just split with this one pipe, which does work out quite well. So yeah, this is all aluminum scrap, like I said. We've got coal coming in here. Right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, you need coal. So yeah, and then all the aluminum scrap does get sent over these 4 lines along with that stuff that I can't think of the name of for some reason. Sorry, my brain sometimes just forgets what it's doing, so I'm just like, I have no idea what that's called. Silica, that's it. But yeah, and then it all goes underground to then be sunk. So then I'm like, okay, we're bringing in a lot of materials that need to be sunk, so we need a place that we can send that so that it gets sunk. So then we came over here to this building, which we had a space over here, and we hooked up a bunch of belts. And now, not all of these sinks get used, just certain ones. So we got some plastic being sunk. I think we got some rubber being sunk as well somewhere in there. We've got some aluminum scrap being sunk into these very sinks. So just as kind of a central sink location to try and get it all in one spot. So because you need to sink plastic and rubber in order to continue to produce heavy oil, in order to continue to produce fuel. So that's why those are being sunk constantly. That's kind of really the only ones you need to constantly sink anyway to keep. I guess depending on the factory you're using or whatever. But yeah, so that was that entire section, and bringing in the bauxite and water comes from so far away. Oh, you can see the house from here over on Paradise Island. It's so far away that we had to do 10-car trains in order to bring in enough between trips. So inside of this train station here, this massive train station, which is got all this and just this little maintenance hatch there for water, because some of this water actually gets pumped over to the water tower that you guys have been seeing, the white one that's got blue pipes running into it. That's the water tower there. But yeah, we bring in the bauxite and water for our aluminum scrap production, which then all of the aluminum scrap then gets brought over here for being made into aluminum ingots. And then the aluminum ingots, some of them go underground, some of them head over here to the main bus, but the ones that go underground, oh yeah, we got our quartz crystal factory here, just a random quartz crystal factory. We've also got a random container factory going in here with the plastic, and then over here we've got Caterium being put into Caterium wire. The Caterium factory is over here, this orange or this goldish looking one with the blue stripes. That's Caterium ingots there, and being brought in. And yeah, we've got a tree in that one. I tried to clear out all the factories. Not every one of them got cleared out though. But yeah, over here you've got aluminum sheets being made, and then you've got Aluminum casings being made as well, which also gets sent to the main bus line. Some of it gets sent underground to go to various factories as well. The other thing I completely forgot to show you is in this area actually has an underground section, which I completely forgot about. Okay, so you know how we have the factory here producing power out of coal and water, the coal generator plants or whatever. So we've got coal station and water station, which all that gets brought into here. There used to be a massive storage of it over here until the plant got moved, and now everything got out of whack, so I had to completely redesign it. There is... I don't know. There's just a random bit of track there. Who knows? Oh, this one went underground right here, but it doesn't no longer. That's right. I rebuilt that section, didn't I? Whoops. Completely forgot I did that. Okay, let's set 10 FPS over here. Tour underground train station section. Massive underground train station section. Yeah, because there used to be an area up here. I completely forgot we had redone that. But yeah, all the main trains come in here. This also got rebuilt. There used to be an inner loop of coal and iron going through here. But yeah, if we follow this all the way back out, I'll show you where it leads outwards. Got some random belts there. But yeah, all of this here goes all the way back. It's a long train line in a subway train. Goes all the way back up here. Oh yeah, you're going to the you're going somewhere else. Okay. Yeah, see the flying manta ray? That's why nothing's been built there yet. It's because of that area. Then he flies over and just almost clips different areas. But yeah, a lot of the materials get sent down this way for the main city. This is the main city. And actually, if we let's see here, like right about here-ish, maybe. If we actually delete this wall, there is still a bit of the train tunnel that still exists underneath here. There she is. So yeah, this was one of the old train. This is one of the old train tunnels that used to run the inner loop for bringing in copper and iron ore. It still exists. As you can see, there used to be a train station here. You can actually go in this door still. Don't worry about the radiation. That's just from from a uranium train passing by. But yeah, you can see all the miners are still in here, buried beneath the city. They're still mining copper and iron. So it's not like it's gone to waste. It's just, yeah, just the train got removed. And then, yeah, we've got the old train tunnels here. And over here, I can't believe I hit that perfectly. This used to lead down to the one of the copper mines. It's been walled off, but yeah, it used to lead down to one of the copper mines. Really cool to look at all the old tunnels and things. Yeah, train tunnel coming by here. This way's to a train station. This was the bypass. As you can see here, the bypass would go around the train station. This was actually one of the very first train stations we built because we had the progressive trains mod, which allows you to build trains at the beginning of the game, or at the near beginning of the game, which is a really cool mod. But yeah, there used to be a train station in here, and then the train would come up through there, and yeah, it did this whole inner loop. This is one of the main train lines. It's been modified slightly. Yeah, we go ahead and put that back, and let's head back over to that train depot that we got underground there. Okay, back over here at our main train depot. We've got iron, we've got copper, and we've got caterium for this section, all being brought up into the city to their respective smelters and factories. And then we've got quartz being brought up into the quartz factory for quartz crystal and silica. And then we've got the coal factory for the coal being brought up for the steel. And then we've got various places around here where there's iron nodes being mined up underneath the city. Here and over here through this door, which is very, very nice. And then this little train, this train is the original, or one of the originals. This train station and train line has existed since we put it down, since we started putting down trains in the early game. So yeah, this little train loop it's been modified slightly on this end, but it's never moved. Neither has the train station. But yeah, if we beat this train going up this loop here, this is just a little loop to bring limestone. It's never been, like I said, it's never been modified. And again, over here, this is where the the hub used to be and stuff like that for over 1,000 hours. And there's a few other little secrets in this tunnel here too. We'll let this train go by. If we head out here, you notice there's another area. So the bauxite and water used to be brought up this way for the aluminum factory. It used to be brought up this way, and yep, this train line would then go here. Obviously, the tunnel no longer exists. Part of it's been removed, and the other part of it's been repurposed for the aluminum scrap and stuff like that. But yeah, it used to go that way. And if we actually take out this wall, we'll put it back. Some of it still exists, some of it still gets used. This is for the coal, by the way. The coal being brought in. So there's the bauxite. So the coal train for that then heads into this station here. Yeah, Coal Station Charlie. Which is, just really cool. Just different, I love that different tunnels and stuff still exist. Rather than removing it completely, just like, we'll just leave it for future fun. Yeah, we got the one of the limestone mines there. Let's go through this hole here. Again, sorry about the FPS. Right up here, here's the limestone train station. This one has been here the entire time. And actually, if we go through this wall, there's another tunnel that leads out of the city. This tunnel right here, this was the bauxite and water line. It used to run through here. And in fact, there's still some power lines. Yeah, just thought I'd show you all the old train tunnels and such. It just ends up here to the bridge, because the train lines used to run underneath the bridge as well as on top. That was before the superhighway got finished, and then we just started we modified everything to come in over that bridge and over a couple different entrances. So anyway, let's go ahead and head back up to sunlight, shall we? It's been long enough in these subway tunnels. This craziness. Don't pay attention to a lot of the belts underneath here. It's quite crazy. The rat ways are endless. Really. Much better. So yeah, back out here, we finished building that, and then we started getting into the Phase 4 stuff. So we've got over here, we started doing turbo motors and stuff like that. And of course, you need some very advanced stuff. So we've got sulfur being made over here into sulfuric acid. We've got nitrogen gas being brought in as well via this green pipe. This was just so that we could make infused modular frames, which are being made over here inside of a massive infused modular frame. Built with all original or all pieces from the original game, but using some mods in order to place them. Using the micromanage mod in order to place them. As you can see, walls are on their side. That's the only way to do it. Was with a mod. There might be other ways, but that was the easiest way. So yeah, you got the infused modular frames with the blenders in here, and then you've got these deals. I forget the name of them. The pressure conversion cube. That's it. Now I remember. You've got batteries being made over in a massive battery here, and then you've got cooling systems being made inside of a massive cooling system. I don't have the nose cone because by this time the micromanager stopped working, so I wasn't able to finish that project. But it's okay. And then we started anticipating, this was before Update 8, we started anticipating the removal of the mods, which was the progressive train mod, which allowed you to upgrade your trains, have trains at the beginning of the game, which were useless, but it was automation, just without belts. But you could upgrade those trains over time in order to be much better and much better and much better, stuff like that. Um, but then we're like, okay, well we need fix-it approved trains because we had trains at this point. We need fix-it approved trains in order to replace those trains for when the trains get removed, which we then housed inside of this massive rail yard. So we've got storage for the 10 car trains here that we have on the map. Now, obviously, there's been more trains added since we built this, so we don't have space for everything anymore. But you got signs and stuff like that as well. And the sulfur train, which comes and use this in order to get to that sulfur station over there. And then you got all the 5-car train storage. Now, this would need to be expanded, of course, in order to fit all the trains. And we had that built for quite a while. The water used to come up here, go across the road, and then over here, and then down that way as well. So then we also had the battery factory made, along with the fuel generation plant. Almost forgot about that. Then we started building like assembly directory systems and stuff like that, or assembly director systems, which need AI limiters. So we've got the AI limiters factory right in here, which you have to go all the way. Like, I don't remember how you get up on top of this now. I think you have to go underneath of it in order to get on top of it. That's fine. We just won't worry about it. And then that got it turned into assembly directory systems, which take, supercomputers and the adaptive control units with the AI limiters then go over that side of the city for the other stuff. And of course, for the cooling systems, we've got the heatsink factory right here, and then the rest of that's just all blocked off and stuff like that. After the remodel in this area, I decided that way I wanted a water tower, so I built a water tower. Don't worry, the tank, it doesn't actually fill with water. It's more of the same of the that tower over there, which is just tanks, just tanks placed inside. It's for the look, okay. So yeah, that about covers it as far as I can see. As far as the city goes, that about covers it. And then right at the end there, we had the turbo motors being made, and the turbo motors go for the thermal propulsion rockets. But yeah, right at the end there, we have this factory, which is magnetic field generators. And then over here, we've got the thermal propulsion rockets, which are being made here inside that building. Now, is there any other buildings? That building never got used, unfortunately. It was there, but it just never got used. I'm just trying to see if there's any factories in the city here we haven't covered yet. before we move on. Um, no, I think we've got it all. That's the entire city build and stuff like that. Okay, so I guess we'll head over here and we'll just start reviewing the rail network. Okay, so the old rail network came out of this side of the city for the copper ore. It came out of this corner, near this corner right here, which was down here. This is where it comes out. As you can see, there's still a bit of foundation where the old train line used to run, which it ran down this way, and then over to here, over to that train station right there to pick up the stuff. But then after the remodel, the main stuff, we built this massive bridge, which is all 1 meter hill, in order to make this work, so that we can run our train line down here. So then all that got removed and then kind of merged into this section, which then gave birth to this massive spiral because we needed more caterium and we needed quartz to be brought in via train stations, stuff like that. So that gave birth to this massive spiral in order to get to this upper section right here, which then went over there. But before we do that, let's head over to this side of the city, because this rail line over here was first. This was our first rail line that went outside of the city bounds. Hey, there's a crashed ship up here. Yeah, went outside the city bounds across here, which I did plan on building a bridge, but I never finished it. I mean, I made it look like a bridge, but that's about as far as I got to it. My plan was to carry the superhighway outside the city along this train track, which didn't work, unfortunately, so I gave up on it. But yeah, then it goes outside here. This was like I said, this was the first main rail line that went outside the city because we were in search of oil, and the closest oil node is over here. It's inside the toxic crater, as I call it. I don't know what we called it. I'll just call it the toxic crater because it's full of mushrooms and what looks like a gas that you probably shouldn't breathe, like that, but kind of different type of gas. But yeah, this rail line's been rebuilt a few times in order to accommodate different stuff. But this was a singular loop when it first was built, was a singular loop to go over and get oil. But yeah, if you follow this, there's a little spiral that goes inside this building, which is collecting coal right here. And then I wanted to build a massive kind of oil collection site with the train on it and stuff like that. It didn't really work out, but this is what we ended up with in the end. Was this massive kind of platform with these supports, stuff like that. You go inside here. There's not any storage, but there is a train station. Oh, yeah, there is a train station. Which goes down here, and if you actually go through this area, go down this little hill, we'll go through this door here, which then leads to a massive ramp case down this way, which then goes over to the massive collection site for all of our oil. Well, I say massive, it was massive back in the day, okay? Which is a collection of oil, which that was before we had the oil tower, so this was our only oil storage, which comes over from all these different well houses. Oh, they've changed this area quite a bit, haven't they? Yeah, all inside of these. Like I said, there's this constant smog in the air, so that's why I like it. It's like a toxic crater. But there's an oil thing there. There's another oil one here, which has another one of those. And there's another massive one if we follow this walkway. Go all the way up. I think there's two of them. Yeah, there's two of them over here. And sad I lost my... Oh, hello there. I guess you are now inhabit this building, huh? There used to be a massive oil barrel storage over here, but that was part of a mod. Now the oil barrel storage was just for looks. There's just a bunch of oil barrels and stuff like that over here in order to take up some space. But unfortunately, again, update 8 kind of screwed us up, so we had to remove all the mods, which then we lost all those cool items. Yeah, there's another oil one over here as well. But yeah, that collects all the oil, and then it would then it comes around here through this section, and it makes this little loop through here, and goes into this spiral. Now that spiral right there didn't exist yet. It just went up. It just went through this spiral in order to gain elevation, and then go up here, and then head back to the city. And then we needed a dual track on this side in order to get that coal back to the city, because we needed more coal for that stuff. And then we needed bauxite, which the bauxite needed a different way other than that spiral. That massive spiral over there, that one, that's right in the middle of the screen there. That one took too long. So I needed a spiral for bauxite in order to get it. So I decided to make this into a dual rail system, which was actually pretty easy to do. It was a lot easier than I thought it was. So yeah, then I built this basically as a bypass to connect into the rail and get into the city without having to go through that massive spiral. Got some more iron collection over here because we needed some extra. And then up here is where we're getting our nitrogen gas. Now this nitrogen gas does not exist anymore. With update 8, this nitrogen gas actually I think it got moved because it's over here now. Oh, where is it at? There it is. Yeah, it actually got moved. It was here. And actually, if you look, I think they just moved it. I don't think they... Yeah, because this crashed ship wasn't here before either. I don't remember that crashed ship being there. Yeah, I think if we actually look... Let's go ahead and go all the way up. Yeah, you can actually see the... you can actually see the design of the nitrogen gas node in that other building. You can see the three across there. It's slightly rotated. But yeah, the three across there, the one, and then something like that anyway. But yeah, it got moved, so it's no longer there, and now it's here. So I'm still pulling nitrogen gas, luckily. So that had to get built as well. But then we have this massive collection facility. Now, the reason this exists is because the bauxite is too far away, and so is the quartz from the city, in order to just rely on a single train. So the quartz gets brought into here, into these two train stations. So you can see there's two train stations here, two inbound ones. Then they move the bauxite from this train station to this train station, which is the outbound, which then brings the city its quartz. Same with the bauxite. The bauxite got two train stations, two trains, which bring in the bauxite from various places, and then it goes into this one, which is the outbound train, which is a 10-car train of bauxite, which then sends it out. Now the water, if we follow this track over here, he decided to use this facility to then put a massive building underneath here for the water, bringing in a 10-car train of water. We've got our pumps inside of here. I got more space if I need more pumps, but yeah, all of these pumps here bring in a whole bunch of water as well. And then over here, there used to be a train station over here for the collection of quartz, or collection of, caterium. There used to be a train station next to that water right there. This is a water thing. There used to be a train station here. It did have to get moved to expand the spiral into a dual track. um, as well. So we removed that train station at some point. And now all the Caterium gets brought to here because we needed even more Caterium. So we've got another kind of hub. We've got Caterium coming in on a train, and then Caterium going out to the city to bring in more of that. And then over here is more coal because we needed even more coal. Just so much coal. It's insane how much coal you need, and Caterium, and iron and copper and all that. Yeah, so that's that rail network. We'll do the let's do the bauxite line first. We'll bounce over to the bauxite line. Um, so that's over here. The Titan Force did get rejuvenated, so had to go along here and remove a lot of debris, if you want to call it that. They're debris. There's also a bypass as well, so that the trains that aren't going into the hub station can just go around. As you can see, the oil train doing here is going around the train or around the hub rather than going through the hub, because going through that you'd have to go through either through train stations or go against traffic going around. These red bushes you can't remove, so they're still on the track. They are unmovable and stuff like that. So yep, we got the bauxite. This is the first collection site for bauxite. Nice train station there, which pulls bauxite from various locations, from like there all the way over there and stuff like that. Nice bauxite train line. And then, yeah, we'll follow the bauxite line first because that one has an end to it. Actually, all of it has an end to it, but yeah. It goes through all of this area. Very, very nice. Took forever to run trains through this area as well. And when we added Caterium, we had to add a bypass because this train line for the bauxite is currently really busy as well. So I added a bypass over there that goes up that way. And on our way back, we'll head up that way um, as well. Oh, we got some loading issues here. As you can see in the bottom right, it's loading something. With the update 8, the way the stuff loads is completely different than it used to. So, everything's still working? Okay, good. Now we go down into depressing land. This used to only have 2 train stations in it, or 1 train station in it, which was bauxite. And then I added a second train station, which was sulfur, because we needed more sulfur, so we're mining sulfur from right here, which then goes down into the train station there. And so the sulfur train doesn't have to go all the way to the end. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's cool. So the sulfur train doesn't have to go all the way to the end. There's a little round, little roundabout track there that just goes through. Going down this way, if you follow this spiral, there's a set of tracks here. One is for uranium, which we're pulling out of this area. You can see the uranium glowing there. And then one is for Caterium over here. Looks like they've added some gas clouds to this area. What the heck is that sound? Oh, is it you being gassed out? And then we got this massive bridge over here, and some more loading, of course. Oh, what just happened? Oh, okay then. Weird. Oh well. I don't know why I didn't shift tab, so I don't know why it shift tabbed. So it's confused. Yeah, we got one massive spiral over here, and then yeah, another bauxite collection mine, or another bauxite mine over here as well. Oh yeah, they've definitely added some bits and bobs to this area too, as well, since I last was in this area. And then over here, of course, there's more Caterium. It is lagging like crazy, and I don't know why. Very strange. But yeah, very depressing over here. There's almost no color. And there's some water over here should you need it. So, okay. So let's go ahead and head back, I guess, with all this lag. Again, I don't know why it's lagging. Like it is. It's very strange. Hopefully, as update 8 goes on, they add more patches and stuff, it'll become more stable. That'd be nice. Yeah, so we'll head back into the land of the color. Come on, there's my color. Holy crap, that land is so depressing. It's just void of all color. It's very insane. We still working? Yeah, we're still working. Okay. I think anyway. Yeah. This is the quartz bypass. I think only the quartz trains take it, as far as I'm aware. There might be another train that takes it, I'm not sure. But yeah, it actually had to get moved because it used to come up here and then it went through that rock right there. But then they changed this area, so I had to reconfigure the tracks to then take this route here, which then has a bypass. So the uranium takes this way as well. I had to add another bypass so that you didn't have to go through the whole massive thing that is over there. So yeah, we've got a little bypass over here as well, which the trains take to get to this section of track faster. Because if it was just this, they would have to take this spiral, head up, go and intermingle with the Caterium and coal trains, and then they'd head down this track over here, and then intermingle with sulfur, or sorry, not sulfur, nitrogen gas, sorry, yeah, nitrogen gas and water, as well as then go down this way and intermingle with bauxite and oil. So I built the bypass so that they just have to go down that way, and they enter the city from that side. So yeah, if we head back over here, let's head back to the bauxite line that we started with. Oh, we got more loading. The game is not happy right now. I'm going through the map too quickly, I think is what's going on. I did turn autosaves off so that we wouldn't have to worry about those all too much. Yeah. I like the new Titan Forest, but these new trees are pretty damn good. But yeah, if we follow the original bauxite line right here, so that goes back to that hub. Over there goes back to bauxite as well. We got a uranium train coming. I'm taking uranium damage. Oh, there's a uranium node right there. Huh. Okay, that's new. But yeah, if we follow this train, this is the quartz line. And there's also oil as well, but mainly it's a quartz line. But yeah, if we follow that up here, then that goes this way, up to getting more copper. I needed more copper to be brought in. So that's where that's at. So I'm actually curious about something too, because over on this part of the map, yeah, there is a uranium pile right there. Just curious. But yeah, just following the main route here. There's one of the quartz trains. So this is bringing in quartz all the way from over here. Oh, we got to do some more loading, of course. Yeah, there we go. At least the sun is coming up, so we can have some more color. Oh yeah, look at that sunrise. Quickly changing color as we go through the different biomes. Yeah, we got a nice train bridge over here. A nice quartz line. Bunch of gas rocks got added to this area as well, so we had to remove them. Um, this is one of the quartz collection stations. And we head out here, and this is the other quartz train, or the other quartz collection station. Can you tell I'm tired yet? Not tired of this, but just tired in general, just exhausted. Yeah, the other quartz collection station. It just takes this little loop here to get back up. Thought we'd do something interesting with the whole train line, which it actually didn't work out too badly. But yeah, then if we head down here, there's more train line, which takes you out to the desert canyon, one of the main ones. Takes you down a massive bridge through the desert canyon. Oh, it's so nice out this way. So much color, so good. I love this area. This is one of my favorite areas on the map. That and the desert itself, of course. And then this takes you over to our main, one of our other main oil collection sites, which collects oil and takes it all the way to the city. This one has no hub. This one takes it all the way to the city. We're bringing in so much oil that we can do that. Yeah, you got the main collection site. I was going to have this as a hub as well, bringing in oil from over at the Spire Coast, but that didn't end up happening. Something else I'm wondering too. Let's head up this way real quick. I want to confirm a suspicion I have. So I was playing on a dedicated server, and there's a whole bunch of uranium in this area, and I'm wondering if that actually exists as well on my map, because we are having so much trouble with uranium. I can already see it. I don't know why, but they went nuts on the uranium in this area. Yeah, that's all uranium right there. Yep. That's all uranium. So it's no longer random then. I thought those little nuggets were random. Not anymore. I went crazy with this area too. Yeah, and then up here, over here, there's also more uranium at the top of this rock here. Yep. Okay. I love the desert. The desert area is so good. And there's our massive train line going through there. Yep, quite a crazy train network. But yeah, that's pretty much it of the train network side. I guess we'll go ahead and head back over to the city. And as we kind of head back to the city here, I would like to talk about Season 4 and what we have in store for that as well. So, Season 4 is going to be it's going to be an interesting one because it's not going to be a big build like this, like as far as all in one area. The builds are actually going to be spread out across the map. Maybe not fully across the map, but definitely not close together. One of our rules is going to be you can only transport materials to and from each factory. The factory cannot be having multiple factories in it, which means it's a one-step factory. So even if it's building computers, or let's say supercomputers, right? All that stuff has to be brought in via train. It cannot be brought in any other way. So we're gonna have trains running everywhere as well. So that's going to be one of the main ones. One of the main rules, per se, is going to be, and each factory can't be within, let's say, 500 meters of each other. The factories do have to be spread out, and everything brought in by train. There's going to be all the way down from collection. The trains are going to be collecting the ore, let's say iron ore. That's going to be brought from that's going to be brought from the iron mines, brought to a massive smelting facility that's going to smelt iron into iron ingots. And then that's going to go into a train station, which then is going to be sent out to massive different factories, like iron plates, for instance, and iron rods, and all the other stuff. I am going to allow alternate recipes this time, so that it makes our job a little bit easier, because I think it'd fit the build better. Oh, sorry, I'm following this main road here because this is one of the built, because we needed, when we got into manufacturers, we really started struggling with power with the fuel generation plant. So we needed more power. I built these power pylons, by the way. I built these all custom, built them in the blueprinter, um, to carry power. This was before Update 8. These got built before Update 8. Um, and then Update 8 came out. Now it's just like, oh, well, my pylons are cooler anyway, you know. So we'll ignore the nuclear power plant for now. But over here, this is our Fixmas factory, uh, as well, built into a hydropower plant, which the hydropower plant obviously doesn't exist in Satisfactory. It doesn't produce any power. It's just for the look. But yeah, you can see all the different stuff for Fixmas is being made right here, inside this factory on this floor. You got all the Christmas gift trees. You got the train stations bringing in iron ore and copper ore, which is then being smelted inside of here. And if we go inside the store here, this is one of our more recent builds as well. Um, you've got all the Fixmas stuff right here in these crates in the wall, as well. And if we head out this door, this is all the smelters. So you can see all the smelters here. We've got the stators for these massive stator things here that inside of a real hydropower plant you'd see these. Basically just a blade being turned by water, which is turning a bunch of magnets inside of a massive stator, which is then producing um, alternating current for electricity. But yeah, we've got the copper over here, and then we've got the iron over here on this side, as well. Started playing with the lighting a little bit. Got belts up there, bringing all the materials down. That's basically the Fixmas factory, because I wanted to do a hydropower plant, and Fixmas had just came into play, so it's just like, yeah, that's perfect, as well. So very, very nice. And then, yeah, like I said, you've got all the no, we've got some more loading going on. You can see the nuclear power plant there. But yeah, looks like a hydropower plant. Got the water coming through the waterfalls and things like that. Really, really nice. Never did finish it though. I would like to do more to this, but we need to move on to season 4, um, later on next year. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break from Satisfactory, get refreshed, and stuff like that, and then we'll head into season 4 next year, which will be really nice. But yeah, the nuclear power plant. So the nuclear power plant, this massive island, um, is home to factories, for nuclear power plant for the nuclear power plant for the nuclear fuel rod generation. So this is completely all self-sustaining, other than the raw materials being brought in from these train stations here. You've got iron, you've got copper, and you've got limestone. We've got sulfur being brought in from outside down this, via this main, or this only route right here, being brought in, with sulfur, and Caterium as well. So we've got Caterium and sulfur being brought in. And coal. Yep, got coal being brought in as well. So if we head into the main building here, we'll ignore all that. This main building got built first. So the way the build went was from this end to that end. And we just built the room as we needed it. That's why it looks so nice. But yeah, if you go in here, and then we go in one of these doors, for the nuclear power plants, we needed water. So we've got all this water here on this side, and we also need water for sulfuric acid, so we're pulling that out as well. And then over on that side is exactly the same copy. It's a mirrored copy of that side, so very, very nice. And if you continue on, head out these doors, you head out to the kind of rail section, which you got all the train stations here bringing in all the materials that we need, from Caterium to limestone to sulfur to copper to coal and to iron. And then that goes out across here into these different factories. Um, you've got copper ingots, you've got steel ingots being made here. You've got Caterium ingots into Caterium wire, steel into steel piping, copper into copper wire, and copper sheet. And then you've got the wire and the steel pipes into stators, and also the Caterium wire and copper sheets into the AI limiters, and the AI limiters and the stators into the electromagnetic control rods over there. And then you've got also steel going into steel beams. And then you've got the steel beams and the concrete into the encased industrial beams. And then you've got sulfuric acid being made over here. So sulfuric acid and concrete and uranium all being brought into here into the nuclear cells, power cells or whatever they're called. And then those cells plus the encased industrial beams and the electromagnetic control rods into the nuclear rods, the nuclear fuel rods. And then those nuclear fuel rods plus water goes all the way into these nuclear power plants. I built these power plants out of the 8-meter walls using the mod micromanage in order to rotate them to the correct angles, and then I just duplicated it 10 times all by hand. Because this was done with micromanage and these are way too big to fit in the blueprinter, I had to do all of these by hand. And you've got the steel beams underneath here. And don't worry, the water doesn't do anything. The nuclear power plants are actually hidden inside of each one of these so that they smoke. And that's the smoke that you see coming out of there, the steam, basically. Because the way this game works is the nuclear power plant and the cooling tower are all in one piece. This is just for simplicity, but I don't like that, so I built my own cooling towers on the end here. But yeah, like I said, self-sustaining, just needs the raw materials being brought in order to make that. And then once we've done all that shenanigans over there at the city, and we needed to make the final product, one of the final products for Phase 4, which was nuclear pasta, we actually decided to go with the drone this time because it was just the easiest, and we're at the end of the series anyway. So we brought in a drone that brings in the pressure conversion cubes and then takes the nuclear pasta out. But yeah, the Caterium, or the copper ore is being split to then be brought up here to make more ingots on top of the building, which then makes the copper dust, or copper powder, sorry. It is what it is. But yeah, if we go inside of here, and you can get to this area from the bottom floor, you can actually go down here. Keep going. There we go. To this floor, and on either side is a control system for this. For the particle accelerator to make the nuclear pasta. So you've got a light controller here. You can change the lights to whatever you want. This is just so it doesn't change the lights on the entire network. And then a power switch here to turn it on and off, if you like. Same on this side. Got another one over here. So we're actually making one nuclear pasta per minute, which is quite a lot of copper powder. Yeah, and like I said, you can get to this from the ground floor as well. Then you've got this floor, if you like. You can go to this floor and go out here and go right down to the ground floor to go in here for maintenance when it's shut off, I guess. Same on the other side. And then if you go out this door, you actually go to the battery storage area. So there's 50 of these per side, so that we can store a heck of a lot of power in case of failure, or in case um, our nuclear barrels get full. So I didn't go to the full let's do plutonium and stuff like that to kind of recycle our nuclear waste. And actually, I'm going to drive the train here um, as well. So let's go up to the train here. Let's get in. So this is the waste train. So hit F here. We're just going to load it up. It's only going to take the first 2 cars because it's not really that full. But yeah, normally this would be done. I just send the train off that way. It's not running constantly. Yeah, we'll take a little train ride for the ending here because this is the last thing to show off. So. Okay, I'm actually going to turn on self-driving so that the train will then basically reserve the intersections that it needs, and I can just take my hands off the keyboard and mouse and just let her go. We can honk it, but I can't drive it because it's on automatic mode. Yeah, we reserve this intersection. We take ourselves a left along here. I'm going to build another one of these power plants in the new season as well, because this was my first one, and I love it so much that I am going to build it again. Because this one doesn't take up too much FPS. It's actually fairly tame. This one was a bit of a undertaking though, building and figuring out all the numbers and stuff, but I can always come back to this save for the numbers if I like. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take this train line up this way. But yeah, my FPS, or the FPS is due to the CPU. My CPU when playing this save is almost at 100% the entire time. It is insane how much I got going on. Man. And it's an i7, so it's not like I have like a little i3 or a little i5. It is a decent i7. And yeah. And it lags this much. So once we start to dock here, I'll turn off the... actually, no, I can just let it go. I love that the way the light bounces off the green and makes it glow. It's really cool. Okay. And yep, do need a radiation suit for this area. We'll go ahead and let this unload here. Actually, I just thought about it. Yeah. I need to turn that train off at the other station, so... Yeah, there goes the barrels, and they're actually going downstairs into a bunker. So if we actually go down here, here is the massive bunker for all of my nuclear power plant, or nuclear storage waste. Just look how much we have here. Look how fast my filters are going down. So it looks like we're right at this box here. Which this box goes this way, and then that way, and then back that way. So yeah, all of these are all full. We're about halfway into our storage for this. But at least the season's over, so we don't have to worry about, filling up, I suppose. But yeah, that's the bunker, and that's going to be it for the city tour, pretty much. Let's go ahead and turn on self-driving, get this train back to its station, and then we'll do the outro for this. I'm really sad to see this this place go. This entire build, we've done a lot. It's been a very fun build. It's been a very fun year. So yeah, I definitely like to thank everyone that has been with us for this journey, and the new ones that have just joined. I mean, I thank you for joining, and hopefully you guys stick around for the next season, season 4, which again, like I said, will be next year. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from Satisfactory for a little while to kind of recharge with it, as well as the reason I'm taking a break as well is because Satisfactory, the mods are still broken for update 8. A lot of the mods that I like to use, like Smart Mod, like Micromanage, and the Road Tool, that kind of stuff. I want those mods to be a part of Season 4. I'll just turn off self-driving for here. Just gonna pull this into the station. There we go. Okay. But yeah, it's been a fun build, so I'd like those mods to be a part of it for Season 4, and those mods are still broken by Update 8. So we're going to give Update 8 a little bit of time. I'm not going to say when Season 4 is going to start, um, but I have the plan for it. I have it all ready to go pretty much. Just waiting on those mod authors to get their mods working, which obviously they can take their time. They don't have to worry about it too much. In the meantime, we'll be playing other games, um, like Hydroneer, like Medieval Dynasty with Dragon, maybe other games with some other streamers. Who knows what's going to come up? Um, but it's probably, I don't know if I'm going to be doing videos every day until that new season comes in, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll pick up some series that we left midway through. That'd be, be nice to be able to get back into some of that. Um, but yeah, like I said, this season has been really fun. I still thank you guys for joining, and especially thank you to the ones that have been through the entire season. Been here every episode and stuff like that. Over a year, this season has ran. Over 1,000 hours, this season has ran. If I want to be completely honest with you, if I had to guess about how many hours I've put into this save, 1,000 hours is not, or sorry, the amount of hours that you guys have seen have not been have been not been all of it. Obviously, not all the 1,000 hours were recorded. I did a lot of off-screen building and stuff like that to keep the series going, so that you guys didn't have to see everything. You guys probably seen about a third of the building, entire like a third of the 1,000 hours. And actually, that's pretty correct because we're over 300 episodes, and each episode is about on average an hour long. So 300 hours, 315 hours out of 1,000. That's quite it's quite a lot that you missed. But a lot of that was kind of boring building and stuff like that too. So, um, but again, like I said, I would like to, or I can't thank you guys enough, and all the subscribers we've gained, all the friends we've made over this past year. It's been awesome. I hope you all have yourselves a great holiday season and into the new year, whether you celebrate Christmas or not. Hopefully you have yourselves a great holiday season, whatever you celebrate and whatnot. So, um, and we will see you in season 4 next year. So again, sad to see it go, but also I'm excited for the new season, and I hope you guys are too. So yeah, I guess until next year, I can't say until next time. I'll say until next year, I guess it's a goodbye.